पृथ्वी, अर्थ, अर्थ के अंदर के कॉन्टिनेंट्स, उनकी कंट्रीज, स्टेट्स, लोकेलिटीज़, ये सब तो आप लोग जानते ही हो। बट क्या आप ये जानते हो कि अगर आज हम अर्थ पे सरवाइव कर पा रहे हैं तो किस वजह से कर पा रहे हैं? क्या आज अगर हम अर्थ पे रह पा रहे हैं तो किसकी वजह से रह पा रहे हैं? नहीं, चलिए मैं बताता हूँ। वो है ओजोन। ओजोन जो अर्थ की लेयर ऑफ एटमॉस्फेयर यानी कि स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर में पाया जाता है, जो आज से 107 साल पहले 1913 में साइंटिस्ट चार्ली फेड्रे के द्वारा डिस्कवर किया गया था, जो अर्थ को सन से आने वाली यूवी यानी कि अल्ट्रा वायलेट रेडिएशन से कवर करता है और प्रिवेंट करता है अल्ट्रा वायलेट रेडिएशंस को अर्थ के अंदर एंटर होने से। लेकिन सवाल ये आता है कि आखिर ये ओजोन है क्या? क्या ये कोई मॉलिक्यूल है या कोई लिक्विड? ओजोन एक लेयर है जो अर्थ के स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर में फैली हुई है, जो हार्मफुल गैसेस को प्रिवेंट करती है अर्थ के अंदर एंटर होने से। पूरी दुनिया में ओजोन का सबसे बड़ा होल एंटार्क्टिका में पाया जाता है। ये होल आज से 40 साल पहले 1980 में मिला था, जो कि जॉ फेबिन, ब्रायन गार्डनियर एंड जोनाथन शैंकलिन ने खोजा था। और आज अगर हम बात करें तो यही होल बढ़ते बढ़ते 24.8 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर्स तक फैल चुका है। तो आप ये हिसाब लगा सकते हैं कि शायद एंटार्क्टिका में ओजोन लेयर है ही नहीं। इंडिया में ओजोन लेयर का लेवल सबसे कम सर्दियों में पाया जाता है और सबसे ज़्यादा समर्स में यानी कि गर्मियों में। लेकिन अगर हम बात करें इंडिया में ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन की, तो रिसर्च ये कहती है कि इंडिया में ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन अभी तक शुरू नहीं हुआ है और हम इसकी उम्र और लंबी कर सकते हैं अगर हम इंडिया का पॉल्यूशन लेवल और ज़्यादा कंट्रोल में ले लें। लेकिन रिसर्च ये भी कहती है कि जैसे दिन ब दिन इंडिया में पॉल्यूशन लेवल बढ़ रहा है, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन बढ़ रही है, मोटो व्हीकल पॉल्यूशंस बढ़ रहे हैं, हम ये कह सकते हैं कि इंडिया में ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन शुरू नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन बहुत जल्दी हो सकता है। तो मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडियन कंपनीज़ यही ट्राई कर रही हैं कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रिक अप्लाइंसेस का यूज़ हो, जिसकी वजह से पॉल्यूशन लेवल डिक्रीज़ होता जाए। एंड होपफुली आने वाले कुछ सालों में हम शायद इस पे कामयाब भी हो जाएंगे, बिकॉज़ बहुत सी कंपनीज़ इंडस्ट्रियलाइज हो या फिर मोटो व्हीकल कंपनीज़ की अगर हम बात करें, जितनी कंपनीज़ हैं सारी कंपनीज़ ज़्यादातर इलेक्ट्रिक अप्लाइंसेस ही यूज़ करेंगी। सो हैप्पी ओजोन डे टू ऑल ऑफ यू। थैंक यू।
Good morning, one and all. On this occasion of International Ozone Day, I congratulate the Principal Madam, Director of the school, worthy teachers and my dear students for their great enthusiasm and a number of activities that they have conducted even during this pandemic time. I place my deep appreciation for the same effort. Effort like this across the globe has resulted in phasing out of a number of ozone depleting substances. India also has successfully phased out HCFC 141, which is used in the foam sector. This alone accounts to 50% of ODS usage in the country. While phasing out these substances, non-ODS technologies have also been introduced, which is having lesser global warming potential. This was made possible due to concerted research and development supported by various programs of Government of India and international agencies. So, as individuals, let us all pledge today for having concern for the environment as a whole, and specifically by not purchasing any of the ozone depleting substances product. So, I thank all of you on this occasion for giving me an opportunity to convey this message.
things you need: two water bottle, a marker, and four chewing gums. Step 1: take the water bottle and boil the water. Step 2: mark a line and take four chewing gums. Step 3: fill the bottle with hot water till the mark. Both the bottles represent the earth. I have chewed both the gums. Step 4: cover the top of the bottle with chewed gum and make sure it covers it completely without hole. And wait for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, this is what it looks like. As you can see, this bottle has a big hole and the other bottle has a small hole. So it shows that there is a lot of heat in the earth, and this is the reason behind the depletion of the ozone layer.
International Day of Preservation of Ozone Layer 2021. In 1994, the UN General Assembly proclaimed 16 September the International Day for Preservation of Ozone Layer, commemorating the date of signing in 1987 of Montreal Protocol on substances that depletes the ozone layer. So I would like to share the points by which ozone layer depletion can be stopped. So what is ozone? Ozone, that is O3, is a molecule that is acting like a protective layer present in the atmosphere of the earth. It is inorganic molecule having pungent smell and is of pale blue color. It is harmful for humans, but as it is present in the stratosphere, it protects us from ultraviolet rays of sun and attack of meteors also. It is only harmful for humans when it will be present in the troposphere. So ozone is somehow very important for the life of plants and animals. Without ozone layer, life would be very difficult. But since 1970s, scientists have observed that ozone layer is depleting due to human activities. Production of chlorine containing chemicals such as chlorofluorocarbons and smoke from vehicles are depleting the ozone layer. Not only this, there are many activities that humans do which results in depletion of ozone layer. If ozone layer will be depleted, plants will ultimately die, and without plants, food chain would collapse. So skin cancer rates would also be on the high rise in humans. So without ozone layer, life is not possible at all. So it is our duty to protect ourselves and the earth. We should not use much of the pesticides and other chemicals. We should use eco-friendly chemicals. We should use bicycle for traveling short distances because motor vehicles emit a lot of greenhouse gases that would also result in depletion of ozone. People should also avoid the use of resources that emit CFCs. So by these methods, we can save the ozone layer. I hope my views and expression will have the deep impact on the one and all. Thank you.
World Ozone Day and Montreal Protocol. Let's begin. This is a story about curiosity leading to research and research, producing huge benefits for the entire planet. Long before humans knew very much about the atmosphere, we were curious about the sky, and this investigation of air around us goes back thousands of years. Thunderstorms fascinated Homer in ancient Greece in the Odyssey. Homer observed their sharp odor. He wrote, "The storm thundered and lightened, and the air was filled with sulfur." Homer didn't realize it, but he was actually describing a chemical reaction that produced ozone. Ozone is a gas that has three atoms of oxygen, and its molecule has a foul odor, and close to the ground it is actually toxic. But lucky for plants and people and other living things, roughly 90% of the Earth's ozone is present high above in the sky, where it serves as Earth's sunscreen tetanus from harmful UV radiation that comes from the sun. Human beings began to investigate it through science. We studied ozone on the ground, in the atmosphere, and even from the space. And with research, scientists predicted, found, and finally solved. Chemist W. and Hartley was the first to figure out that ozone played a valuable role in the atmosphere. He thought ozone must absorb some of the UV light as it passes from the sun through the Earth's atmosphere to us. And in their day, Hartley and his pairs could identify a few gases in the atmosphere. But most gas concentrations were too small. Science doesn't have any powerful equipment to detect them, so the scientists got to work. In 1920s, physicist GMV Dobson invented a device that could measure small concentrations of ozone by recording the wavelength of light is absorbed, and that pattern of light is called spectrum. So Dobson called his machine a spectrometer. Every discovery made scientists more and more curious about the atmosphere. So they developed better and better tools. By 1950s, they could measure 14 chemicals in the atmosphere. Analytical chemists continued to measure every similar substance, and today we can identify over 3,000 atmospheric compounds in the sky. Basic research made it possible for us to see what has been in the atmosphere all along, but it also revealed a serious danger. Let's go back to the ground now. Since the 1960s, the world has seen a rise in the malignant skin cancer that can be best described as alarming. Many factors have contributed to the rise of people moving and traveling into sunnier places. Change in fashion over years, we have literally exposed ourselves to more and more sun, and scientists also suspected that some of the Earth's sunscreen ozone would disappear, and decrease in ozone would let more of the harmful UV rays from the sun reach the surface of the Earth, and that pushes the rates of skin cancer even higher. And even decrease in ozone could lead to increase in cataracts damage, affect our human system and immune system, and make it harder for the plants to grow properly. The problem was getting worse. In the 1960s, so were the other technologies more closer to home. Aerosol sprays made our homes smell better. Refrigerator preserved our food longer. Styrofoam and similar products made things easier to ship or carry. And air conditioners made it possible for us to live in sunnier, hotter places. But with that, we used a chemical called chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs. Chemists F. Sherwood Rowland and Mario Molina showed that at lower altitudes, CFCs could stay in the atmosphere for decades. And it was observed that an industry was releasing 1 million tons of CFCs every year. That's why many countries banned the aerosol. British scientists, followed by Japanese and American researchers, showed that levels of ozone above the Antarctic were dangerously low, and it made a hole called Antarctic ozone hole. This was another problem. The world responded to that in 1987. 26 nations and European Union signed the Montreal Protocol on substances